Mini Matters, a miniature and painting podcast.
Welcome, guys. It's been a while. I just noticed actually that audio clip is the baby is on the right earphone and not both. Never noticed that before. Well, okay, you guys obviously aren't as excited about that as I was.
The what? The what is on the right earphone?
It's because you're not wearing headphones, right? When you wear headphones, you will notice that the baby going is on the right ear. It's
okay,
not.
you're saying the very first that sound.
It's not mono. It is mono. It's not.
I've noticed that when I've listened to the podcasts, which I've done on headphones.
I found that
because obviously, as our listeners might not know, we obsessively listen to each episode several times.
Probably every day, actually, before I go to bed, so I can mull over it. We are back. I have to be totally honest with you. I missed you. Maybe not as individuals, but I missed the podcast. That's the less intense way of saying it, I think.
Yeah, I missed you personally and collectively, both.
Thanks for fixing that.
Yeah,
I did too.
It was tough. It was tough, and now we are recording with Arnau inside of Spain.
Yeah,
inside. Yeah, I'm literally inside the earth. That's why I sound like that.
Arnau has been sequestered to a country estate in the Spanish countryside, like a mansion, a manor. Either or, a country house.
I don't know if that's like maybe tax reasons you're not allowed to mention that Arnau, because obviously this is public domain.
Sure.
And
I was just thinking either that or it's like a safe house, because Arnau is.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true, and it is like Texas, like desert kind of vibe. So Breaking Bad comes to mind basically, because
And I mean, we should also mention, like, as far as we know, it's Spain, but it could very well be literally anywhere on Earth.
So true. I mean, it's extremely true, actually. So, yeah.
So if Arnau sounds like he's in, well, I mean, Guatemala, Slovenia, Sicily, that's the reason why.
Some people still think that Spain is like we have cows and goats in the streets, but we don't. We are not.
I don't know if that's a slur on those crap other countries or that like everyone's perception. Spain to me is just like a super corrupt country that has nothing really going for it. Not as bad as Italy, but like you've got like a good basis, but people just bring you, like the government bring you down a bit. Do you know what I mean? Like also not as bad as France.
Well, that's very true.
I didn't really have that impression of Spain. My impression of Spain is that like 75% of the population works in the miniature industry one way or another, either the miniatures or painting. There's about 600 or 700 companies that produce paint. They're all Spanish.
Yeah, and they're all the best.
Yes.
It is a fascinating... right, let's get quickly into what we're going to give the listeners some reason to stay tuned. But yeah, the Spanish quartet... Don't know what that means, by the way. So the meat of it today is too much of a good thing, semicolon, at what point you stop appreciating art. I don't know if that's grammatically correct. It doesn't matter to me.
No, I think it is. I think that's great.
I've been trialing. I've not been trialing. Right. We've got...
I'm not sure about the semicolon, but I do appreciate a good random semicolon.
Yeah. Maybe right. Slow as a race car. For those of you who do not know, well, first of all, the meat of it is actually just the topic that we talk about. Slow as a race car is the opposite of fast as a race car, and fast as a race car is where we ask our contestants 10 questions. They have 2 minutes to answer them, and then the public, the all now 6 listeners, we have got a little bump in our listenership since the last week. Vote on which one they would like the contestant to dive into more deeply. So we have 2 questions. One of them for Arnau, you might not want to answer. So I've given you 2 options. Then we've got news, of course. We've got Q&A, a beefy Q&A, I must say, actually. We've got 4 questions in there. Some are probably quick answers. Maybe some are diving in. We've got Grot Busters. We had 1 person calling in. I don't think your brother did, Arnau. So I'm very fucking disappointed by that.
That's a difficult one, I think.
So what? If you're not going to win, you don't message in. That's a defeatist attitude. I don't like that. Don't like it. Right? Then we've totally
agree.
Yeah, it's cheap. We've got GD Hype, okay? obviously. We're getting closer, boys. We're getting very, very close to that. We've got a big things I hate. This one is actually I don't like it. Okay, but it's very specific. And then we've obviously got the things that we will cover one day: Rebel Moon, Elder Project, Dan. I'm actually disappointed we've stopped Dan. I've got anime stuff I really want to talk about, but
not stopped. We're postponing it respectfully.
Yeah, and then we've got the release cycle for GW basically. So we've got those topics. They're good topics. Now to go back to Spain quickly, my theory on this, right, is because you've got nothing else to do in the day in Spain. It's too hot. Okay, you can't go out. You've got pesos. Is that the old currency?
No, that was pesetas.
Oh, so close.
Pesetas was before the euro. When did you adopt the euro?
I think it was in 2001.
I was going before that.
Ages ago.
25 pesos was not much money, but it had a hole in its middle. Oh, sorry, yes.
The pesos is still the Mexican currency.
Oh, really? Oh, so you're both speaking Spanish then?
Correct.
Oh, Mexicans? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why it sounds very similar. Pathos.
Well, yes, it's a thing.
There you go. And I've had my first ever crunch chocolate bar in Spain with the blue and the white and the red. I think it was. Yeah, I mean, for people who don't know what it is, right? It was electric. So how have you boys been in the 2-week absence that we've had here?
Well, it was only a week. Well,
no, mate, it was 2. We missed a week.
2 weeks since we did the podcast. I mean,
that's what
ages.
It feels like an eternity. I feel like I don't know you anymore. Like I didn't even know. I wasn't sure if I should come back. Really.
I was just thinking, like, even just having an episode and saying like, "How have you been?" is going to be 3 hours of endless adventures because we've not seen each other like this for so long.
Well, I'll be honest. Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, obviously Arnaud's now in trouble with the law and has to leave the country.
True.
Like, clearly, loads have happened.
Well, with the marvel of internet, I don't care where he is. Yeah. Even in prison, he can get this podcast done. I don't think there's much better things online than this podcast. It depends what you're into. If you're into endless drivel and completely disorientated shite, then this is a great podcast for you.
Who isn't?
Well, if you're into more like streamlined, professional kind of vibe, then you don't want to be here. I don't think.
No, but after so long, they wouldn't just listen.
I mean, if you're into a streamlined professional vibe, what are you doing looking for podcasts?
You're a lawyer, maybe, or you're a dustman and you really like order.
Mm-hmm.
I assume they do,
might be.
Or maybe they want the contrast. Maybe the CEOs listen. Obviously, we've got no CEO listeners. Like that's a fact. But you know how you get those people who they're telling people what to do all day long, and then in their sex life they have to go and get whipped by like a prostitute or something, right?
I do know those people. Yeah,
you hear about that all the time. So that could be people. We could be those, that outlet for people.
Yeah, I really hope we are.
I highly doubt it, but you never know. If you want groveling shit, groveling's not the right word, but case in point, if you want some, I went to LGD. So I did.
Oh yeah, you went to a tournament.
Yeah, and it was
shit. There's been some hobby activity for you guys.
It was
I've been locked in a room painting, and you've played an entire tournament, 40K. Arnaud went to Freak Wars,
which I think is a bit of a
and
weird
they
name.
wouldn't let him leave the country. That's incredible.
Yeah. Is it?
Go first?
Is Freak War lost in translation, or is that its real name?
It's its real name. Yeah.
It's not like in Spanish and it doesn't mean.
No.
It's called.
Well, actually, it's in Spanish we use the word friki, which is something close to freak. It comes from freak, but it doesn't have the negative connotation.
Yeah,
it's more like nerd or geek.
So it was a bit lost in translation.
Yeah, I don't think it's a great name because in English it's not. It has that negative connotation of freak.
Like, you're a freakazoid. You're a bilionomist.
I didn't know that. That's pretty interesting. So we're supposed to interpret it more like geek wars or nerd wars.
Yes, exactly.
Right. So I was actually I was right, basically. Not that you guys said I wasn't right. I'm not saying that I'm better than you. I'm just.
Yeah, well, but what I don't get is why instead of doing freak wars, they didn't do freaky wars, which then it would be more like our way of saying it because we don't say freak, we say freaky. So
Freaky. It's a bit naughty though, isn't it? Freaky, naughty, freaky. Like
Yeah,
you're freaky.
freaky wars
It's very
might be
sexual.
like sex wars.
Yeah.
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 no, but
freaky.
it's not freaky with E and Y. It's freaky with two I's.
Whoa.
So it's not.
Friki.
That is freaky.
Yes.
Freaky.
That's
Okay.
crazy. In fact, I wouldn't. I would
Yeah.
never have guessed it would be such a weird Spanish spelling. I didn't even know it's
Yeah,
spelled with an I. Actually, guess that shows how little.
Yeah.
An
Right. Invention.
I guess spellings don't actually make a difference.
So Arnaud, do you want to talk a little bit about the event itself, no matter how it's spelled?
Yeah, it was great. Actually, I think it's growing a lot. There's international companies. There was Byron was there with Element Games, well, with Artis Opus, Neko Galaxy and Mindwork and stuff like that. So it's starting to feel like a real event, not like a regional one. And that's pretty cool actually, because we didn't have a good show in Spain for a long time, which is surprising
It's crazy, actually.
considering how much painters we have and how much professionals we
Is it
have.
because it's so expensive, or like tax, or there's no?
No, I think that because there was no one to push for it, right? We had one before, but it was more like a historical one, and it shut down. So now that we have Freak Wars, then it's more like a fantasy one, gaming, and a
Traditional
bit of everything.
painting
So
competition.
it's a little bit of everything. Is that it? There's a
Yeah,
there's
it's
a painting
actually,
competition. But you can also game there, and there's a lot of vendors.
and there's cosplay contest.
Okay.
There's artist alley. So it's like a Comic Con
Yeah.
meets miniature show. So it has a
Right.
bit of everything.
It does sound really good.
I didn't actually realize that. I assumed it was like 20 Spanish guys in a room, sort of just circle jerking. No, I actually hadn't. I knew there was retail, right? I didn't realize there was a painting competition. So I thought it was
someone
much.
mentioned. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
go on,
Jamie.
no, go on.
Someone mentioned that because the World Model Expo, I went to the World Model Expo in Paris this year, and there were a lot of bad things about it, but never mind. And someone mentioned that because World Model Expo is sort of arranged by, it's like handled by different people depending on where they go in the world. The next one, which is supposed to be in Madrid, is also supposed to be organized by the Freak Wars people.
Oh, interesting.
The same way that the previous one in 2022 was like the SMC people in
Yes, exactly.
in Eindhoven, yeah. And so for that reason, I mean, not that it's a massive thing, but I got the impression that Freak was really well organized and really good, and that makes me more excited for the expo as well.
It is. There's a lot of people who work there. How's it called? People with no pay.
Volunteers.
I can find the word. Volunteers, yeah, of course. And yeah, it's pretty good actually. I think they're improving a lot every year because they take a lot of feedback and they really improve upon it every year. So it's great, yeah.
How long's it been going? Not that this is a competition podcast, but
Maybe 7 years or
it's quite
8.
a while.
I
Still.
don't know.
Fucking hell, 8 years. Yeah, that is like, how long has Monty been going? Not that it's the same. It's
11?
a long time. Like, yeah, okay,
12,
so not
something
much
like
longer actually. Yeah,
Only that? No, I think it's more.
22.
it?
I have no idea. Someone will tell us in the comments. We don't
I
have
think it's
comments.
less than 15 years, but yeah, someone will just correct. We could just look this up, but we won't.
No. I mean, Albert will probably be on WhatsApp the instant he listens, and he'll have a big go at us talking shit. So, I mean, it's a staple now. You go every year, basically, but you go there to retail as well, right?
Yeah, even if it's not the best place to sell, because it's not only about figures. So there's gamers, there's people who don't know. At SMC, you know that every single person that goes there is there because of figures. But in Freak Wars, there's all kinds of people, gamers. There's people who just like nerd stuff, and so it's not that much about selling, which also helps. but it's more about being there and making the event larger, as and present.
I just
I think it's good for that.
I wish it would. Like, I was just thinking, could I go? Like, I was thinking, could I go? Because Spain has some all right food sometimes, so it would like be good to go. But then I was like, it's such badly. Why do all the organisers decide to do the competitions within 2 months of each other? Like,
That's what I don't get, and I will never get, and I hate it so much.
It's so annoying. Like, do some in fucking March or April when it's not hot yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird choosing. Well, it's not weird, but it's frustrating that
Very
like
weird.
Golden Demon now at Spiel, and then SMC and Monty, and this is all kind of pretty bundled together.
It means I don't look forward to it
That's
as
one of
much.
the things I liked about Golden Demon being in May.
Yeah, it was
even
brilliant.
Though I think
It was ideal.
It was.
Even,
I literally.
I'm quite conservative about Golden Demon being like the way it was for a while, I guess, with games days in end of September-ish, like this time of year, basically, and in like Birmingham, that's the way it should be forever.
The thing is, I mean, maybe I'm just. Yeah, if it was in the UK, it wouldn't be as bad, but I don't live there, so actually it's the same. Yeah, it's like, if you had it spaced out, I think I'd really look forward to it. But right now, I know I've got these 2 events, and I'm slightly like, I'll be. Whereas if there was a decent gap, I could really do that one, savor that, and then really look forward to the next one. So yeah, I don't know. It's a one more. I guess like if Freak Wars was in a different time of year, I'd go to it, and they'd probably have a load of people more go to it.
Next year they are doing it earlier, so I think next year it's at the start of September instead of at the end.
Yeah, that is better. I appreciate that. How did they know? They haven't even listened to the podcast yet. It's crazy.
Yeah, they do it because of us. For sure.
It's the only explanation. And then I was in LGT, which is a tournament in London, which is literally like a 9-minute bus away from my mum's house, which is pretty crazy that it's so close.
And it's like the biggest in the world or something.
I thought it was biggest in Europe, but it might actually be the biggest in the world.
I don't. It was biggest somewhere. It's massive.
It says it's the biggest, right?
It's 1,000 players.
It's a lot, and it doesn't feel like 1,000. I think that's the issue. It feels like 20 are there. Like it's a well organized. It's a very well organized tournament, and it wasn't hot, which is crazy. Like I suppose it's all this time of year. Maybe I can't see how many people are in Nova though. I know the Nova is like it's the biggest one maybe in the US. But anyway, it was amazing. I went with one guy I know. Who I went with last year, Aston Martin. Interesting. Never thought about that. And then 3 new lads who were also really good. And we went to Bengal Bertie's. I don't think I've taken you to Bengal Bertie's, have I? Have we been now?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's fucking.
Sounds like an Indian restaurant.
It's an amazing Indian restaurant, Martin. I will add. And it was so all the tournaments I've gone to before, like every single one, except for once last year, except LGT last year, but I didn't know them, so I met them there. But every single tournament I go by myself, which is fine because it's kind of nice to have a chill. You go and eat, you go blah blah. But it was much better going with people who I liked. Looking back retrospectively, like I guess if you chop your leg off, you deal with it. Whereas before you chop your leg off, you're like, I couldn't live with a chopped leg off. You adapt, right? So. Going to these tournaments,
not quite seeing the connection with the people you went to.
Going to the tournaments, I'm like, I like going by myself. It's fine. I get to watch TV, I get to read books, I get to eat whatever I want, and no one goes to shitty like Five Guys, which is just awful. And now I've gone with people. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, it is actually probably better to go with people. But I'll go again to another tournament by myself, chop my leg off, and have to just deal with it. I'm basically saying, you adapt, don't you? Like, you never would assume that losing your leg would... You think your life would be over.
So going with people is like chopping your leg?
By going by yourself.
Going by yourself is exactly like going
without
to a tournament without your leg, yeah.
No, not the tournament. Just your whole life. Look at it like this. I shower every day. I couldn't live without a shower. And then your shower's broken. You're going to get on with it, aren't you? And you'll just you'll enjoy yourself. You enjoy the day. That's what the tournament's like. Good.
Yeah. It's a slightly unnecessary metaphor for just being adaptable and being okay with a less than ideal situation.
It's. I mean,
But I
it's
hear
happened.
what you're saying.
There was a guy at
Yeah, it
LGT missing an arm, basically, and I thought that's so good. He's got one arm because otherwise he's fucked. Like he could not play Warhammer at all with no arms.
Yeah, the argument it could be worse is like true for absolutely every person on Earth,
Yeah, unless
including
they're dead.
a one-armed Warhammer player, I guess.
Yeah.
A lot of wisdom in this podcast.
He's very happy, I assume. I mean, he might be annoyed. I was watching a video the other day about on YouTube about a guy with frostbite, right? And he just had frostbite on his fingers, and he was talking about it so positively because he could have lost more, but he lost like 7 fingers. But he was like, "Thank God I've got 3."
Jesus.
Yeah, it was an amazing positive display of resilience. Sure, man. Right. So yes, basically the tournament was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. It did get me thinking, like, if only there was something, as I said to you guys on the like, if only there was some way, like, we could all be competitive in a single event and you know, talk about it. But obviously, I was joking. But I still am a bit sad that like 40K, like going to Golden Demon, it's kind of passive, right? So we spend all this time alone and we paint, right? Say 300 hours, 400 hours. On our case, probably like 700, 800 hours. And
in our now's case, like 20, 25 hours.
Yeah, it's cheating. But you spend all this time alone, right? So it's quite reclusive in that regard. Obviously, we catch up, we talk, we share photos and stuff, and then we go to the event and you just give it in, right? And then you stand there and you socialize for 2 days, which is really cool. And
it's very true.
Some people go around and look at the cabinets for literally for 2 days.
Yeah.
But the Warhammer tournament, somehow you do a 3-hour game and then you catch up for an hour and you talk about the game, you experience it, you talk about your lessons, etc. And then you go and play another game. It's a really, like, there's more camaraderie I felt in that tournament than I've ever felt at Golden Demon somehow.
I can definitely see that.
Go on. Is it very demanding? Like, it must be exhausting to play so many games. At the end, don't you start going downhill energy-wise?
You just, if anything, you get more energy, and you're more galvanized and more excited to play the next game. Like day 2, it was only 2 games. I was devastated we weren't allowed to play 3. Don't get me wrong. The first few tournaments I did, I was like, I had chapped lips, and I was like, why the fuck are my lips chapping? And my feet hurt, and I'm tired, and I'm making mistakes, and blah blah blah. But I think now it might just be that I've played now a year of competitive, and I've done a tournament for a year, and I'm more used to it. But I think I found it amazing because you do something that you love most in life, except for my family, and Tina doesn't listen, so I don't need to lie. But no, you do something that you love more than anything, right? And it really, like, the anticipation for a tournament is so high. I'm so excited to do it. Like, there's nothing I look forward to more than a 40K tournament, right? And then you get there and it's better than you thought it was, and you're like, this is fucking amazing. And then you have a quick break, you talk, you think how amazing they are, how amazing it is, and then you play another game. So you've got 3 times of, like, brilliantness. And then at the end, you know you're going to spend like an hour or 2 with the guys, and you're going to go and get food and talk, and not just about the game, just life. Basically, I would love you to get into competitive Warhammer, and I think you're a pussy for not doing it. So there you go. That's there. I said it.
Well,
I went to a couples tournament once. That sounded like it's for couples. I guess that's what you call it. But it was
teams.
Yeah. Okay, teams then. But it was fine. Fuck it. It was like couples tennis. That's what they call it, right? Doubles tennis. Doubles tournament. Yeah. That's what it was called. Doubles. Yes. Yeah.
I like couple though. It's good that you went with your missus.
Well, now I'm thinking there should be couples.
Yeah, that would actually be really cool.
doubles tournament at Warhammer World when I was working there, and it was amazing. It's just what I was going to say. It was so much fun, and because I was thinking about, Arnal said that like wouldn't the energy drop or something? I feel like sometimes when I'm playing, it happens rarely, but now if I play like a game of Kill Team or something, me and the other person, I'm at their house or whatever, will just sort of like the energy will just teeter out, and we'll get a little bit fed up by 30 minutes into the game and just like hang out
Right, yeah,
instead.
like a social thing, right?
And I feel like with this doubles thing, it was maybe because I was playing with someone else, but we played just like you did. We played three games in like an afternoon. It was amazing. It was so much fun the whole way through. It was great. So I guess maybe the tournament setting adds a bit of, gives you that kind of energy as well.
So
I would do a double star tournament. That I would do without.
The only one I know of is Warhammer World, and I signed up. I actually recently unsubscribed like a week ago because Eventbrite, right? So I was getting notifications about tournaments at Warhammer World, and I didn't get a single fucking one in like 2 years of an event that I wanted to go to. It was like I'd keep seeing Warhammer Sigma, blah, blah, blah. I didn't ever see one for 40k doubles, and I assume now, looking back, that it's because as soon as it was released, people would sign up, so they didn't bother sending emails out because it was full before their like schedulable crap goes. I don't know if it's true. I wanted to just be alerted beforehand that a tournament is going to go live, but then anyway, I think the one good thing about tournaments is you play your first game, you lose 20-0, you're going to play against someone else who's 20-0, right? Then let's say you lose your next game 20-0. You're going to play against someone who's lost 20-0. So basically, you find your natural rhythm and you start having competitive games. It's not like you just get battered every game unless you're fucking dog shit. Like, if you're the bottom of the barrel, then okay, you're going to get bent over. Like, fine. But generally speaking, it's pretty good at that. Like, last year, the same tournament, I lost 4 and won 1. So you can get beaten 4 times in a row, basically.
You might still have a good game.
They were competitive. Yeah. You can lose and still have fun, right? But yeah, I'm more motivated now to go to tournaments and try to have some friends that go. I'd never thought about it before, right? Like, all the people in Austria, they're not my friends. As sad as it is to say, like they're people that play 40k, and I talk to them and I like some of them, but they're not your friends. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be like
colleagues.
Yeah, basically, they're 40k colleagues, and I think that's because Austrian people are weird. So that is the intro of this episode, and we can rattle into. So this is I don't even need to say it. This is I'm vegetarian. The meat of it jingle, of course. So one more time for anybody who doesn't know the meat of it jingle. I'm vegetarian. There you go. So by popular demand, I have to keep that as the jingle.
By popular demand, we're not going to talk about the jingles anymore. So let's just move on to it.
Look, I'm sorry, Martin. They said that was their favourite jingle.
Who said that?
I don't remember his
name. I want name.
2 people in the Discord were very adamant that that's easily.
So 70% of our listeners said that they liked it.
Yeah, based on percentages, that's an amazing return. I really appreciate that they like that jingle. I've actually done nothing for 2 weeks on the podcast. I've been extremely lazy.
Why would you? We haven't recorded, and
no, but I normally gather.
We have so much to talk about. We're already
too much 2.5
hours in, and we've discussed tournaments and pre-course.
And for those people that feel like it's not been 2.5, that's how good the content is, because you are having so much fun. So do you want to? You got a choice: meat of it, slow as a race car, news, Q&A. I haven't done Grossbusters yet, so you can't pick that one. Or GD.
Let's move on to meat of it, I think.
Yeah, you did the intro, so we're doing meat of it.
It just feels too serious. Right. I was actually about to start with it, so anyway. So I can't remember what like motivated or inspired me for this topic, but it is one that I'm kind of vaguely interested in. I think it was artwork. That was it. So there was a collector who collects Warhammer pieces. Okay, he exists still, and he often gets models shipped in, like endless supply of models, like top quality, 75 mil, 28 mil, everything to do with modeling. In fact, that's probably a better way to sum it up. And it reminded me, I was like, shit, isn't that guy just like, he's just bored? So when I was collecting my sealed collection, it got to the point after about 2 years where I'd pretty much collected every box that I had aspired to as a kid, Recreate My Youth, blah, blah, blah. And I was just doing it then for the sake of it. So I was collecting because I knew how to, it'd gone past the point of joy, and it was just, that's what I do now. And then I also collect artwork, Elder artwork. And the first piece of artwork I ever got was the second edition Elder cover, right? And I still hold that in high regard in how how it makes me feel. But I'm buying Elder artwork now. I do like the artwork, but it doesn't have the same impact, anywhere near as the same impact as that first purchase I got, right? So
yeah,
when I heard, and I hadn't cognitively clocked all of that, but when I heard this collector was getting another piece that loads of people would like really, really appreciate, I was like, is he jaded like I was? Because then I realized I'm buying artwork because I like the artwork, but more to have it than to like have it on my wall and revere it. And so, yeah, it got me to thinking in artwork in general, like at what point do you stop appreciating it? And is it worth it? And blah, blah, blah. As a collector,
I mean,
I guess.
I think, yeah. So the first thing here is basically like, this is inflation. It works with everything, and the more you have something, the less worth the less worth it has. I think that's just the case with anything. If all you do is eat at 3 Michelin star restaurants, then that becomes less special. The less you enjoy amazing things, the less worth they have. And I think with regards to like collecting as well, it's it's never going to be the same as that first thing that you got. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to stop doing it either. But it is, yeah, it's a difficult thing to have like the I guess you have like the resources to just keep collecting and keep buying stuff. And then what is that? Like, what is the point unless there is that kind of completist mentality of wanting like everything of something? Because that's another issue then. Like, I've done that with some of the limited edition Horus Heresy books. They released the Siege of Terra books, and I wanted to buy all of them. And I remember getting the first one and thinking like, this is gonna fuck me up with having to buy all of them, because they say it's going to be 8, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be more than 8. And then, yeah, wouldn't you know it, it ended up being like 11 books in that series. And I really did feel buying all of them is like, I don't know where the enjoyment is in every one of these. I just have to have the full set. So, yeah, I don't know.
I understand collecting, because at the end of the day, collecting is limited in a way. So, for example, you say collecting the codex artworks. Okay, there's let's say 11 or 10 or 8 codex artworks. That would be a good collection to have. Obviously, if you have endless things, like endless sealed boxes, then yeah, why keep going? A limited collection can be cool because you want to get them all right, and that completion is what gives you the kick. But then I think the problem goes way further than that, which not only in collections but in how present it is in your life, art. So and I think we talked about this the other podcast, where we are so used to seeing artwork in miniature form in our case, obviously, that we start to lose the kick that seeing something cool gives us. I don't have it at all. For me, maybe once a year or twice a year, I see something that I say, "Oh wow, that's really cool." But before, it was easily once a week, or and now it's like, oh fuck, another figure. This is boring as shit. You know what I mean?
But is that
So
yeah? Like,
yeah,
does social media? I don't want to blame social media for all the world's problems, but like
we could. I mean,
yeah, like does it? I don't know if it's true, but back when I was reading White Dwarfs and stuff, you'd get a once a month overload of awesome, right? Or you would roughly awesome. And that was it. And then you would spend that month trying to recreate those things, right? And then like, for example, now when I play a game of 40k, I don't have that same level of excitement as we did when you and I played Arnell. But on the flip side, when you and I play, I get back into that quite quickly. I think it took me 2 games to stop my normal routine, right? So I don't fully understand where this is going, other than I wonder how you recreate or get away from the mundane and routine of it. Because I was able to do it with 40k because I stopped doing it how I've always done it and went back to the way we're doing it, like when we were playing.
yeah. I mean, you have a cooldown, right? So if you let it cool, then you'll get some kick later as well. But if you keep constantly feeding your input of that thing, then it starts losing its value, of course. I think it's just about resting. And if I don't see any miniature in 2 years, probably when I see one after 2 years, it will be like, oh,
you
shit,
you
that's
think it's
amazing.
that bad? You don't think that if you didn't see miniatures for 3 weeks, you'd be recharged? You think
3 weeks.
you fucking hell?
No.
You think you're that badly burnt from it now that you're like? So doesn't that I like? Isn't that a bit sad? Like, not like you're
But
sad. Like, doesn't it? Isn't it like you've lost
but
the magic?
it also promotes um, advancements and progress, right? Because you are uncomfortable with it, so you want to improve and do new things, and
you're uncomfortable with it. What do you mean?
you are uncomfortable with not feeling it, with not liking it.
So you
Yeah.
try and push
You
yourself
don't
or create new
like,
boundaries or.
every time I do something, I feel like it's boring and meaningless because it's the same shit all over. So why do we change? Why do we progress? It's because we are tired or bored of the old stuff.
Yeah, I
Hmm,
think
So
it's interesting with because we're talking about 2 different things here as
but
well, which is
related, but yeah.
doing it and the like the exercise itself, which we've talked about before, is like keeping yourself interested while you're doing it. But then the other side is just enjoying other people's models and the art itself. Not just miniature art either. I think anything really. Like I'm fed with cool stuff constantly.
How though? From
I'll
what?
look at like just random fantasy art on like Pinterest
I
and
see. I
people's
see.
miniatures on Instagram, but also, movies, TV shows. Like there's so much stuff that will inspire you that yeah, I think a lot of that will again lead to some kind of inflation. There's way too much
Mm.
cool stuff everywhere all the time. But I do find still that I enjoy, at least partly enjoy almost all of it, especially miniatures. I still feel that kind of spark a little bit. There's very little, like you say, are now very little that really makes me go, wow, this is fucking cool. But there's a lot of stuff that's like 80% to that level where I think, this is kind of nice.
It's
Um,
uh, it's
yeah,
impressive
I'm like,
though,
I don't feel
'cause
like that sort of like bland, like slight disappointment. I don't really feel that a lot.
because you like working in GW would think that it could have easily gone that way. Normally when you work
Yeah,
in the thing, you hate it.
yeah, yeah. No, I feel it did get to that point a little bit with some where maybe, every, I don't know, 10th release would be something where I'm like, wow, this is great. I really want to
Mm.
paint this. But still, the rest of it wasn't uninteresting. It was just, yeah, this was just kind of the regular, like, bread and butter
It's
miniatures.
it is actually really interesting, right? Because what made me think of the topic was more your not you, like one
Yeah.
is
Anyone.
past, like is consuming this stuff, purchasing it, getting it, gifts, whatever you want to call it, but it's all the same stuff. and that becomes boring.
Mm.
But when I think about releases and 40k, there's a few things I'm fucking bored of seeing, which we'll go into later, but Space Marines. But that's because there's so much of it, so that actually does cross that bridge. But the otherwise, I think I'm generally quite excited by like 50% of the GW releases, for example, in 40k. I'm like, holy shit, that's still cool. But that's because it's more finite, and I don't get it myself. I have to go out and buy it. It's not like I'm given this thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, these artworks I'm talking about and the sealed stuff, I was buying it, but it was like there's somehow a difference there. I can't quite grasp the meaning of it, but like you've got buying your own crap, you've got working on your own stuff, but it's different. Arnau's perspective is different from mine because he's working every day.
Same. I think it's just perception, because at the end is getting used to something and getting used to buying it, getting used to seeing it, getting used to it's too much of something just lowers your dopamine intake, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what do you do with this thing. It's just if it gives you dopamine at the start and you keep doing it, you will get less and less and less. But that's just a normal thing.
Yeah, exactly. It is completely normal. I do agree. But I would still maintain I can still sense whether or not I like something at all. And if I do, then I'll still like that thing. So it's like Space Marines is a good example because like I guess disappointment I might say I guess you could say with some releases, some Space Marine stuff that comes out isn't that I don't think it's cool. It might be that I think this could have been more interesting or more exciting. But there's also the aspect that I like Space Marines. I think they're cool and I've always thought they were cool. So that's not really going to change, even like a really basic thing that comes out. I might think like, oh yeah, this could have been more interesting, but I don't know. It's hard to explain, but there's still that kind of aspect of like I still think Space Marines are cool. So
No, I
I know a
understand.
lot of people will go like, oh shit, there's more of this. I didn't want more of this. And then I'm like, okay, does that mean that you don't like Space Marines at all, or did you want something really, really, really different? Because if that's the case, maybe it's that you didn't want Space Marines.
But it is mundane, isn't it? The same lieutenant in a slightly different pose with a slightly different hat or shield or
Yeah.
But if they did new things in Space Marines, like progress, like we would actually kill for a new Land Raider, right? Or a new whatever that we like. So I actually, it's not like I hate it. It's just that it doesn't give me the same level of excitement anymore. So, and when you do not get the same level of excitement, you feel kind of sad, right? Because you want to feel it. And yeah, it's not about disliking, because I can eat Space Marines every day, every single day of my life until I die, and I'm pretty sure I will enjoy it. But also, I'm pretty sure it will never be the same as 10 years ago when I was discovering Blood Angels and I was the happiest man alive. So, and this with painting is the same. Every year that I do it more is it's not about doing, because I absolutely adore painting. It's my life passion, and it will never change. But I see so many figures, for example, and my thoughts are a bit all over the place. But yesterday, some family came into to my parents' place, and we had dinner and stuff. And I had some figures with me from Freeforce, and I showed them to all the figures that I have, and it was the first time they saw real life in hand, like professional painted figures, and they were absolutely mind blown. They were like, I could see in their eyes how they were not believing what they were seeing. This thing fades; it's inevitable. But that means that the more you do, the more it fades. And now we are so used to seeing it that we are also we are even taking it as normal. Figures, incredible figures, are our standard. That's what I mean. That
yeah.
I'm so up there in I'm so used to seeing the maximum level that I don't know what I need to get impressed, if you know what I mean.
Would you say generally that you're you're probably going to be more impressed by people that do things that are maybe beyond or slightly beyond your own capacity to do, so basically better?
I don't think it has nothing to do with my own level. I think it has to do with how different it is or new. So, for example, when I see someone painting something absolutely out of the standard, for example, I really like Graphical Studio because they paint different than me, very different, and it's not better or worse. It's just a new thing. Or when it's when someone does something that nobody else has done before, something very artistic, or it's like, oh wow, it doesn't need to be extremely well painted. It's just
Yeah.
different and new.
I do agree
What's
with that. I find a lot of the stuff that really catches my eye, stuff that is different for whatever reason or in any way.
It makes
really.
sense.
It doesn't have to
That's
be
what I was saying.
particularly really good.
Yeah.
Not that there's an objective good, but yeah, like technically really, really good. It's usually stuff that's quite different. But I think aside from that, there's also a lot of the stuff that blows my mind is also things that I really couldn't do myself because it's technically really advanced or someone's done a really impressive technique or
But those
that
things
what
will
I
be
call it?
less common anyway, so they will draw your attention
Yeah,
more.
probably.
Like if you saw a gay couple holding hands down the street, you would notice them way more than a straight couple, because
It's different.
there's 10 straights for one gay, kind of, right? So it's not that like it's just anything different is going to catch your attention. And I think when you go to a painting competition, like the things that Arnau is impressed about that I've seen in painting competitions are just normally scenes, because they're easier to make something different. Some sort of diorama or jewel or I don't know what the word would be, like a display base or whatever, right? Because you've got much more room to be creative. And often it's quite funny to see where there's like a frustration in his brain and face when he's like, fuck, I wish I could do something like that, or I wish I had time to do something like that. Like, and I wish I didn't have my job, or I wish I didn't have, I wish I just had unlimited time. I don't know. Anyway, but it's,
I know
I get
exactly
you.
what you
I
mean.
agree.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm exactly the same.
and but that boils down to all the way back to the whole thing of like, they're not, these guys are I feel a bit of sadness when I see the collectors collecting these things, because I know the feeling that I had when I was collecting these things, and the sort of, in brackets, hollowness that it kind of that it just is, if that makes sense. And every now and then, is that a hand up or is that a sore shoulder? Yeah, okay. Cool. All right. Well, every now and then you'll get a piece. I'll just quickly, where you are like, oh shit, that brings me much closer to where I was at the start. Hand up, mine.
Did you pause it?
Oh, I see. So, yeah, well, it's interesting. Also, what got me thinking is I've bought Magic the Gathering Spider-Man collection, right? Some cards.
Nice.
And there are some amazing artworks in there, right? And it also reminded me, or made me think, like, why would I feel more? I'm holding the card up. You can't all see it. There's basically the cards that there you go. That's my mother calling me, by the way, on the phone. She just wants to know how I am, and said, just tell me she loves me. It's lovely, right? Anyway, I hope it's not some emergency. And she's like, if you had have called, you could have saved my dog's life. She doesn't have a dog. Anyway, Craft World Studio do a lot of the artwork styles in these fucking Spider-Man artworks. What is it? The primary colors wheel is shifted, I think, or something, or the
It's more anarchic in a sense. Like it doesn't follow that much of. It's not that real, right? It's more cartoon, and then the colors are shifted. You have a purple base, and then you have an orange skin, but then lights are green. So it's more abstract. It's slightly more abstract.
But isn't there a rule set? Because, like, Fuck it, we'll go into that another day. So the artworks that I'm really drawn to in this Spider-Man collection are using lots of purples and blues and blah blah blahs, right? Like shadows that are that color, and that card there that you see with the lady. But what was interesting to me was having this bit of artwork. If I could buy this, it's digital, so I can't buy it, would somehow be more important to me than getting another Elder one.
Because you've already got several Elder ones.
Even though these Elder ones I loved like fully as a kid. And it made me slightly sad as a realization, but also excited that the concept that I want this more than I want Elder. But it blew my mind.
But what if they released a new Elder cover that you loved?
Yeah, I would like that. Yeah, I would.
So it's just about the new thing, right?
Yeah, but that's crazy. Basically, like I said, I've evolved in a way. Not necessarily bad, but my core values 3 years ago were so far from where they are now. Basically,
I don't know. I don't think it's that. I just think it's what I'm now saying. It's all about evolution. So I know. So I've collected a few things in my life, and I won't get too much into why and when, what it was and everything. Well, okay. So when I was younger, I collected Star Wars toys, and I was really into, firstly, like the original ones, and that was really difficult, like to do in the 90s.
yeah.
So then
no
it was
eBay
more
and
about
stuff,
like
right?
yeah, exactly. It was like harder to track down, and then I did that, and then I pretty much stopped when I bought a bunch of stuff from like the prequels, and I just was like, okay, fuck it, I've got enough now, and I just stopped, like pretty much cold turkey quit, was done with it, and I've still got most of that stuff in boxes.
Some money, some sexy money,
and some sexy money, and I'm gonna try to get rid of it, all of it, at some point. And then at one point I collected a lot of Lego. I got really into like buying Lego, and I did that thing where I would just buy some stuff, and it would get shipped in like in boxes, and I would almost put the whole box unopened into like storage, because I was like, I can't build this, and I don't know where to put it. And I remember this one time when I did that, and I saw myself do it, and I was like, hold the fuck up, what am I doing now? Like, I'm literally just hoarding stuff. And we've shared our various collections.
Yes.
And
well, not our nows. I didn't get our nows, but yeah.
And then the hobby is another thing entirely, I think, because that's just, and like, not even joking when I say that's my bits box. Like, buying any amount of hobby stuff, I'm fully. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, right. Sorry, my every week we learn. So the other week I was doing randomly changing and playing the Hupper. We learned. Then we bought mics. No one mentioned it. I was very sad, but now we're back again. Our now's not using.
Disappointed that no one mentioned it.
It was disappointing that because clearly the quality in content and audio quality had jumped a lot.
Yeah, well, this is what you get, because now our now is in the countryside.
Yeah, he sounds like shit. But yeah, that was my phone. So now I've learned to maybe put my phones on silent. But anyway, buying too many boxes, Martin, and hoarding it.
Yeah, basically the whole story was boiling down to something like a point, which was that I now collect nothing. And I won't. And I think, because what it is now with cool things that I like is I know I'm gonna end up putting it in storage. Oh, right. Here's what it was as well, is I realized when I was into the whole Star Wars thing, and it was difficult. It was like a grind. And it was both finding things and then paying for them were almost impossible. And then I read somewhere that millionaire pop star Robbie Williams was also a big Star Wars fan, and this was again like in the 90s, and he had someone like an assistant person buying all the stuff for him.
Imagine
and
that's
I remember
a job.
Thinking, that sucks. That it wasn't even, there was no part of that was jealousy. It was such a revelation to me, because I wasn't jealous. I wasn't thinking, wow, I wish I was also an asshole that I could buy all the Star Wars stuff. It was just like, that sucks.
You mean it's just gone?
It's just
the big thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it was just the collecting was much more exciting than the collection.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized like, oh, I'm not even, and it wasn't really that's not exactly the moment I stopped doing it, but it did make me think that like maybe having endless resources and the ability to buy all this stuff, which brings us back to you and the elder artwork, because I mean, it's not like you're made of money, but you can pretty much buy all the Warhammer artwork you're interested in having.
Yeah, it's
And I can
getting
see
more
why
expensive,
that wouldn't
but
be
yeah.
quite as exciting to you anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I what was it? I also realized like I used to have to message the artists, chase them down, haggle with them, and now we've got one wholesaler who's more or less all the artists go to now because he's created the name. So there isn't that chase anymore. And that's another reason why I got sad about that collector of art pieces, because he just gets sent them now. So slowly he's dwindling in the thing, and it, yeah, I suppose you just replace it. Like right now I'm so motivated about 40k and playing it. I get the exact same feeling quite consistently from playing as I do with all those collection stuff, because they change the rules so much. The rules change, you have to buy new models. There's so many armies that I want to try, even though like lore wise, obviously I'm a hardcore elder dude. I've built an orc list. Okay, I'll now listen to this, right? So killer cans, you know the killer cans from second edition, or dreads. They were dreads then, but they were like the biggest fucking thing you could have. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now units of 6, so I'm gonna have 18 dreadnoughts on the battlefield. It's gonna be
But dreadnoughts or kilocans?
killer cans, yeah, not the dread, but they're the same size as the old dreadnoughts from second edition.
Yeah.
They're literally like, they basically are that model, right? So I'm going to have 18 kilocans, 1 real dreadnought, 4 trucks, and 40 orcs, okay? And then 10 grots. And I'm just going to walk across the battlefield, call a warg, and just fucking run at you with everything.
You know that my first tournament when I was, well, maybe like 15 years ago, I went to a tournament in a store, and the first guy I played with, he had 9 fucking kilocans and just some grot, and he wiped me out in 2 turns, and that made me
Sad.
hate
Yeah.
tournaments from that moment, because I was like, why is this fun? Tell me, why is this fun?
Well, yes, I agree with that. I think now in 40k, you don't have that anymore, unless your list is obviously like. But every army beats every other army, and if I turn up with these 18 kilocans, they basically can't walk over an army at all, because they're toughness 6, 5 wounds each, 6 up save. Like I'm gonna die, right? But I'm gonna fucking run at you with a load of kilocans, super orc style, call a warg turn 1, and just fucking run at you. And then back up.
It was also a 1,000-point tournament, so it was a small tournament, and having 9 kilocans is an asshole move, like very asshole move.
I think
there was a time, I mean, this was weird, but like back in 3rd edition in the store that I used to go to, they would ban certain things. I think at one point they didn't even let people play with like 3 Wraith Lords in their Elder army, because that was considered a really shitty.
It's actually unbeatable if you're Space Marines, because Space Marines can't hurt them in combat.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Wraith
and it
Lord
was
just
like
charges
they just wouldn't
you.
allow it.
Yeah. All that broken shit has gone from the game now. There's no one build that is, because they every 3 months change the meta. So if something is broken, they just get rid of it, because it's not fun for anyone. You'll have a little window, a couple of months where this gets abused, but you still have counter builds to it, and player skill is massive. Like, yeah, I avoided all that era now. Like, I guess
it was not about the game. I loved the game because it was very role playing, because you could choose your psychic powers, you had your disciplines and shit, and it was a lot more complex and inexact. So it was not like chess like now, which is more exact. But then I was disappointed with the person in front of me. Like, do you find this fun? Like you have 6 nine cans that just do the thing, just throw dice and then kill me, and that's it. That's all you do. It was sad.
You still get those players now. Win at all costs is what I call them, or they're coined. And I play against a knight player. So he has 6 big knights. It's a hard counter to some builds, right? And he's visibly upset when he starts losing the game, because all he wants to do is walk his models out. There's no skill involved. He wants you to not be able to kill him, and he wants to be able to kill you, and that's it. And that's how he gets his 40k enjoyment. So I guess it's just different for different people. I don't get my head around it, but that's what they want to do. So yeah, I can't remember the point of the 40k. The feelings.
Yeah.
The feeling I get from 40k is consistently the same that I used to get for collecting artwork and sealed boxes. So it's a much longer dopamine stream, but it might be because I still see so much improvement to be had in myself. You know, when I was painting before I got too into it, I saw improvement, but I was much more enjoying the painting side of things. Whereas 40k is much more geared towards chasing my own self-improvement, because you're not competing against anybody else but yourself in a tournament, really. Obviously one-on-one competing, but if you won 2 games and you lost 5, the previous tournament, you've got a metric, a bar to try and get to. It's probably when you're winning every game that you start getting bored, I guess. So
the improvement that you're looking for is really about getting better at the game and playing the game, and it's not just about building new armies. Yeah,
it's much less about, but that is, well, no, that's not true. It's not less. That is a really good side consequence that comes from it. I caught myself daydreaming just the other day for the first time, real, where I was like, oh shit, I actually really want to paint. Like that's the first time in 4 years where I had like a small flame of excitement. Like, even when I've looked at the avatar and stuff, I've liked the idea of the outcome, but I've not liked the idea of painting. And this was the first time where and that's when I sent you that thing about if only there was a competition. But I still think that painting competition somehow drains the enjoyment out of it. I don't know why it is for me. For me, I'm talking about obviously
competition.
Yes, not the competition itself, as in not the entering, but the actual competition. When we get there, and we stand around for 2-3 fucking.
I do. I thought you made an interesting point before about competing in a painting competition versus competing in a tournament, because it's exactly what you're saying, that you don't actually do anything at a painting competition.
I would love them to do rounds each day. I'd love them to do a cut. You know if you've made the first cut or
something like that. I mean, exactly. I wouldn't necessarily know how to change anything. It's not like I want there to be a feature of painting competitions where we all sit around a table in tank tops painting, together on a timer or being fired at or something. They are what they should be, but it is a little like dull. I was talking to Stian the other day about like kind of the looking forward to Golden Demon this year and building up all the excitement about seeing other people's entries and finishing our own. And we were saying that like the first night that we get there, getting everyone's stuff, the ones that we're living together with, and having a look at all these entries around like
fun.
The table in our Airbnb, that'll probably be the best bit.
Yeah,
because seeing all the stuff in the cabinets is just kind of awkward, but that's what it is.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, lighting's a bit shit. I wish I could see them better. And then the award ceremony is like just I don't know. I don't even think I'd want to be there really. I mean, it's just kind of nerve-wracking and horrible.
I agree 100%. And I for me, these events, the best moments are when we arrive and we share our figures in the house, and then the last day when we collect the models and everyone shares them.
And then they
these
tell
two
you to
moments
get
are
out.
the best.
Yeah.
Well, yes, inevitably.
It's very annoying.
But if we went to Golden Demon and for some reason something happened, the cabinets broke and they had to cancel the event, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care.
No, I agree. I actually completely agree.
It would be more like, oh, now we have an excuse to talk with all these people, share the models, and have fun, instead of putting them in the fucking cabinets and be 3 days there just doing nothing.
Yeah. Exactly. And going to events where I haven't competed, like Monte last year, World Modern Expo this year, World Modern Expo 3 years ago, was really great. And it really occurred to me that the competing part doesn't matter at all. Obviously, it does matter. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. And I want the trophies and whatever else my ego needs. But it's really much clearer now, year after year, that that's exactly what you were just saying. If for whatever reason they had to close down Spiel and we were just sat in Dusseldorf in our Airbnb and had all these models, like that would be fine. That would be great. I just want to see all this cool stuff up close, and I think I do appreciate the deadline for my own stuff to finish something really cool. Hopefully,
I think if I had my ideal, I was just thinking like, how could I improve Golden Demon personally, just for myself, and it did end up very similar to Monty actually. Basically, I would just like to eat food, very rarely look at the models, talk about other people, and just socialize. My issue with Monty is Arnau doesn't come. It's still a little bit chaotic because people want to go and see the models. They want to eat in this restaurant. It's not a complete chill vibe for me. A chill vibe for me is I'll just do what I fucking want, and I'll go with Lionel probably, and Albert maybe can book the restaurants and just tell me when to be there. It's not unchill though. Don't get me wrong. It is pretty chill, Monty. GD is the opposite of that. It's in a fucking huge ass thing, which is cool for about 20 minutes because you look around, but then it's not cool. But I can't just up and leave how I would probably like to drop off the models, socialize with everybody, do a 1 or 2 hours walk around the whole place, and then just go back home and play board games for 2 days. Honestly,
I would do that.
Yeah,
happily.
Like that like
or build some board games with some ladies that tell us how to play. That was fun, and I would definitely play some games around there. But being in front of the cabinets for 3 days,
I can't do it.
I just don't see that.
Even in that space, I'm happy to play board games at the Airbnb. But even being in that room with the noise level, for even one day, I thought it was exhausting.
It's 3 days, isn't it? Yeah.
No, there was no time actually that felt kind of relaxing, restful.
Arnau and I found it very good.
I felt very busy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to get away from in GD. Actually, I want it to be a holiday, not a stress fest of fuck.
And that's what you're talking about Spiel now, the way it was last year and the way it's going to be this year. I do still think that the GD they had at Warhammer World was fine.
It's the best. It's the best ever.
I thought it was
for sure.
There's nothing. There would never be a better GD than that one.
I thought it was great because it
was amazing.
It's such. I mean, well, for obvious reasons, but yeah, I'd be happy to have it at Warhammer World every year.
No, I wouldn't be happy, Martin. I'd be ecstatic. Right? List it off, okay? Warhammer World, museum, cabinets, a room, a bar, a motherfucking all-you-can-eat Chinese, a car park. That's it. Not random people, all hobby, and a shop that you can go and buy Warhammer stuff from.
Yeah.
I actually ran into Andy Talbot, so the old organizer. So he's changed his job now. So he was at LGT, and I was like, "Holy shit, what are you doing here?" And it was like, on the like semi events. I didn't actually. He said what it was. I switched off because I didn't understand what it meant. But he's not doing GD now, but he's going on a world tour for 2 months. Between now and Spiel, he's going to the USA, to Japan, to somewhere in Europe, back to the USA, and then to Germany.
Oh wow!
In that short space of a time, and then and that's halfway there. Then he's going to Singapore, blah 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 blah. He's basically doing a world tour, right? But I can't remember the point. It was just you both know him, and it was interesting that he's doing that with GD.
I guess it's because we were talking about GD at Warhammer World, and
well,
whoever's decision it is to do it at Spiel.
Yeah, they don't want to do it. They thought it was a complete failure, and there's no exposure. Whereas doing it in this place, say again.
Well, yeah, GD is a tool, right?
They got nothing. They gained nothing from it, right? So now having this at the Spiel is their dream because they've got the biggest banners in the entire event. They've got the biggest space. Like they must have paid a lot of money for the banners, because you have to spend money to get banners up there, and their banner's like legitimately 4 times bigger than any other banner. Even Catan was small. Like so, it was a big statement, I think, from GW.
I did think about it because they also had a sizable retail area, and like you said, they had a lot of just like branding. Like it said Warhammer and Games Workshop and Golden Demon absolutely everywhere. Make sure that people see that. And then like what we've been seeing every year, that they sort of marginalize Golden Demon and not give a shit about it, is like it's so crazy to not use that marketing for marketing, so to use all the free cool shit that they get from Golden Demon, all the miniatures.
So we're sad.
So now I guess it kind of works that way.
They're doing what they want to do, and they're becoming like I'm no doubt that they lose money retail wise versus the price they put in, but then it's marketing, isn't it? That literally is marketing, and like they were at LGT, and I just, for the amount of stuff that gets stolen of my stuff, like I'm surprised how they must get a lot of stuff stolen, is what I'm saying, because there's zero security.
The stuff that gets stolen of your stuff. Did anything get stolen?
No, like, you know, if something, you just leave something out and you'll be like, where's that gone? And then you're like in a club or at Warhammer, or people steal shit, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, imagine how much they must get stolen. I don't know. I just feel like it's a side note. We don't need to dig in it. Right. So that's the meat of it. There we go. I feel like we've actually got more to dig in all honesty. I feel like we haven't got a firm conclusion.
Well, we don't have a conclusion, but I don't think there's one. I mean, we are just chained to this endless pursuit of new dopamine things. So I guess it's fine in a sense, because it makes us progress, but and change and do some new things. But I don't think there's well, I never collected like you guys, because I always felt like when I was doing it, I started to feel less of that, and I guess I obviously the lack of space that plays a huge part, but then I kind of always wanted to make it special. So when I buy something for myself, I always do it in special occasions like my birthday or Christmas, or I try to not buy myself things during the year. What?
It's just so opposite of me. I'm like, oh shit, like, oh fuck, imagine.
But I always been like this, and I actually feel kind of bad when I do. When I buy a lot of things, you know, when I just go on a spree and buy, which I don't do almost never. But when I do, I feel kind of bad for some reason. So I don't know. It's
preservation.
It's a big contrast, I think.
So basically, don't let yourself fall prey to it, and stop collecting mindlessly, and keep 2 arms if you can. But if you don't, it doesn't matter.
And maybe also like acknowledge that, again, inflation is a real thing. There's nothing that you'll be able to do over and over and over again and feel the same way as you did the first time. But that's okay. That's just how it is. And you can still enjoy the things you enjoy.
Yeah. I often dream about winning the lottery and just buying all the sealed Pokemon boxes, and then realizing how hollow it would make you feel afterwards, probably.
Imagine opening the third box, and having like 70 more. It's like, oh fuck, what did I do?
No, sealed from like 99. Like you can't buy those. There aren't that many boxes of that, right? But also the price would shot up if all of a sudden like 20 boxes for 26 grand were bought in one day. Someone would be like, oh, I'm going to start charging 50 grand. Anyway, but I've got billions, so I could buy that. Well, this kind of, I mean, yeah. Do we have a news thing? I don't think I adjusted the hold on. Wait for it, guys. Here we go.
Talking about slow as a race car now.
No.
Extra, we do about it.
It's the news jingle. That's obviously a boy on the street. No one maybe. Yeah, okay, good. So, I mean, we Space Marines. The Dark Elder pre-release were out, right?
Mhm.
I spent 560 quid on that. It's a
You
lot.
spent 560 quid.
Yeah, buying the Dark Elder stuff, right?
But when you say the Dark Eldar stuff, you're talking about one named
Everything.
or one unnamed character, and then
Yeah, I just bought
hundreds of products
15
from
of them.
2009.
Yeah, so I bought all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't have them, right?
Right.
And I need them, obviously.
Oh yeah, sure.
I mean, I do have a few, but it's tough.
The army that you went to LGV or LGT or
Yeah.
LGB or whatever it's called. What it's
LGBT.
What did you?
I never
did you?
thought.
Did
It's
you
Elder.
play Dark
Elder.
Eldar?
No,
Oh,
Elder.
you played your Eldar army.
Yeah, Elder.
The 90 Guardian army.
No. In the end, I couldn't get it finished. I built them all. Interestingly, actually, I got. I ran out of sand, and we were talking
yeah,
about how. So I bought. Well, I didn't buy it. I bought it. I bought an old paint set. Like the paint racks, like from GW, the old stores, and it had loads of sand. So I've got another box of sand. So when this one runs out, I'm fucked. Because
You got the round grains of sand from GW. Yeah, old school.
It's in a box. I'll send a photo. It's brilliant.
So
But
basically, you bought the new Dark Eldar. Do you like the new Dark Eldar stuff?
I don't like. Yeah, I like it more than the 3rd edition stuff. That was awful. Sorry, Gary. I highly doubt Gary Morley listens to the podcast.
That would be incredible.
That would be.
One of our 6 listeners is
Gary Morley.
GW sculptor Gary
Could
Morley.
be. I've spoken to him a few times on the phone, but I don't think I mentioned to him that we have a podcast.
But maybe Chris Fitzpatrick, the other Dark Eldar sculptor.
Yeah,
the American guy.
Yeah, this was good. I've spoken to him a few times, because I wanted to buy some of his greens. I wanted to buy his Howling Banshee greens, and he said no. I was like, yeah, fair.
No.
Fair enough. Yeah, he's like, I don't think GW would be happy with me selling the greens. I was like, well, no, they would. They're your property. But I didn't say that. It's a bit too argumentative. Like, no, you should sell them to me because GW won't mind. Like, he might have just not wanted to sell, but didn't want to personally message me. So, yeah, okay. Anyway, Dark Elder new stuff. I bought loads of that. I'm going to probably buy that new Terminator box from Space Marines as well.
For gaming.
Yes. And
yeah, I was actually quite tempted to do that as well. I've noticed that when Games Workshop, when they do army boxes, seeing an army of anything makes me want armies.
Yeah.
Which is
yeah.
I've never felt like more of a sucker than
I consider buying it too, but seeing how they put some old stuff in the new boxes, it's like I don't want more of that, so I'll wait for the old.
But then price wise, it's like 100 quid or 110 quid or something, and you'll get all of that.
Yeah, I know.
That's the issue, because when that box gets released, it's going to be €50.
Yeah.
I know, but when I buy because I'll probably buy one squad of Terminators, which will be £40 or
no,
something
they've got
like
the
that.
price increase in October.
Yes, but it's still in Element Games will be like £40.
Yeah, okay.
So buying £40 now and then maybe if I want maybe another 40 in the later is much better than buying now £120 of worth of shit that I don't really want, So that's how they trick you. They trick you into buying things that you don't really need or want, instead of just spacing it in time. And that's what they play with, time. They want for you to pay as much as possible in the smallest time possible.
But what about when you do a different chapter and you need more Terminators? Then you just buy it when you need it.
These are all Blood Angels.
I'm never gonna do another chapter.
Seriously?
Do you really have to ask that?
I said I'd never do Elder, so you don't want to do Black Templars?
No, because if I buy something that I don't have with Blood Angels, it's like, no, I'm gonna buy it for the Blood Angels, not for the.
But what about when they release really good models?
What I'm gonna do is Grey Knights, but that's because it's a different thing.
Okay, because they're not Space Marines officially. Okay, and the last piece of news, the other big news was Dragonhead models had its first official recast. So to me is big news. Like, I don't know if it means I've made it. I always thought if I get recast, it means someone likes my model. But apparently, that dragon. I was talking to my Asian sculpture guy, and he was like, he went to China and Japan, and that's their favorite sculpt, that dragon. So
Which one?
the first one, Joachim's.
Joachim.
Yeah, it explains why it's recast and the other stuff isn't yet, because it's got more resale value.
Yeah.
But from such a small brand, it's pretty fucked up. I get why they do it because it's cheap money. But yeah, it's still pretty surprising that they would take my shit and
Yeah, it's free money for them. Like they don't have to do anything, just buy one and just recast it.
yeah, yep. And they probably don't even have the cast yet. They'll probably make it when they do it, when they sell some. But yeah, you know, what can you do? So that is, of course, the jingles for things I hate. This is going to be a quick one, right? Things I hate. So I don't know if this has happened to you guys. I really hate it, but this is just annoying. You're brushing your teeth. You're obviously in the shower, and then as you splodge the fucking paste on the toothpaste on the brush, and then you swipe down on it, okay, to give a clean cut, which invariably bends the bristles backwards, which then flicks some fucking toothpaste into your eyeball. Okay.
I don't think that will happen to me.
I don't think that's ever happened to me.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it has never happened to me.
It happens.
You do it really hard. Like you may have like a trebuchet of.
Seriously, it probably happens once every 6 months. But and all of the toothpastes I use are like natural toothpastes, right? I've got I'm like allergic to fluoride or some shit, so I use a salt-based one, and let me tell you, when you get that salt-based one in your eye, fucking hurts.
Ow.
But
salty toothpaste is a crime against humanity.
It's really
every
good.
time someone gives me that venom, it's like, who hurt you? Who hurt you?
Why does this exist?
Like, I didn't realize I was, we weren't going too much of a tangent, but I didn't realize I was allergic to toothpaste until I stopped eating. And then, because I'd brush my teeth and then eat breakfast, and it would kind of wash your mouth out, right? I think I might have spoken about it before, but now I don't eat until dinner time, and my mouth by like lunchtime, it would be as dry as a fucking paper. It was not pain, but painful, because you'd be drinking so much you'd piss yourself. Anyway, this second toothpaste, which is where it came from, is a sodium-based toothpaste. Now, let me tell you, if you thought salt in your eyes was painful, I thought my eye was going to fall out when it got in there. Like, normally, you close your eyes when you got something in there and the pain stops. Closing your eyes made it worse. I was like, I actually put my face under the shower and was like, just get it out. Ugh. So, yeah, that's things I hate. Now, we have, where are we? Where is it? Oh, it's not as fast as, it's not slow as a race car. It's
Beep boop boop boop. Slow as a snail.
That's, of course, the jingle for slow as a snail. Beep boop beep boop, slow as a snail. Thank you everyone who voted. Of course, this segment is slow as a snail, and next week we will be doing fastest race car again, and you will get to vote again. So it's a bi-monthly thing. So what was voted for? You won this, Martin. Who was most?
Did I win?
Well, this is the question that you won. This is the question they voted for. Who was the most likely to put the wrong brush back in the rinse pot? I'm
answering this.
Yes. They want to know who was the most likely. I'll double check that's actually right. It seems like a weird one for them to upvote, but there you go.
I thought I was in this. So this is fast as a race car, and then hold up. Yeah, this is I'm gonna read this question.
No, okay, it's wrong. It's wrong. Oh, it's 5. No,
Yeah,
it's right.
wrong.
Which miniature was the most fun box art for you to paint? I knew it was wrong.
That's your question. Which miniature was the most fun to paint? First of all,
Not
I
mine.
already answered that.
No, you've got to. This you're new, Martin. You're forgived, mate. Yeah, you expand on it. You now have to deep dive into that question and give the viewers what they want, listeners, whatever.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I've answered the question, and now you want it longer. Fuck's sake. So I think I answered the trolls, the rocket trogoths.
You better hope you got it right, because you'll look like a right twat if you get 2 of them wrong. Like,
Yeah. I think that was my answer for which was most fun. So a lot of the projects that I worked on were really fun, and that one I think was fun for a number of reasons. It's there's something about projects, whether like for work or for yourself or GD or anything, where you've got kind of an idea of what you want to do and you're excited to do it, and then that idea carries through to the whole project. So at no point did I like did I kind of feel like, well, this isn't going to work, or did my idea have to change my idea, have to do something different. It was really, and this is obviously not like the most exciting experimental thing. It's the opposite of that, is that I just wanted to do stone trolls, like really classic looking stone trolls from Warhammer, because that's what they are. So I just had I think I even had like the recipe, the color recipe in my head immediately when I kind of yeah, I knew I was going to paint them, and I thought, right, this is what I'm going to do. And then it sort of worked. I used the airbrush a bit to build up the colors, and that worked. And then I didn't really run into any massive problems. So I think that's what made it fun. But also there was this really nice balance between kind of working on all this skin and all this texture, which I thought was kind of fun and cool and difficult, and then a lot of fun details. So the faces and the little bird's nest and the like dwarf loincloth, and yeah, so just a good balance of a lot of different things. I think that's what made it fun. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else to say about it. Really, it's just it's not just that everything worked out and that's why it was fun. It was also like, if it's too straightforward and too easy, that's not really fun. It's also kind of the challenging aspect. I guess that's kind of it. When there's a little bit of something that
Achievement.
you're not sure exactly how it's going to work out, or you need to actually try hard and it works out. I guess that makes it fun. Yeah, something like that.
Makes total sense.
Thanks.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Now, so I've given you two. What was the most unusual request you had from a client? And I don't know if you want to divulge into that, because it might be conflicting with the client knowing what you're talking about, or you don't care and you want to jump in.
Well, I guess sometimes I had some unusual requests, like this one that I said, adding some pink OSL in a very saturated piece, which was actually an illustration, so it made even less sense because it was already an illustration. So, there's not that much to get deep into, other than I was trying to copy an illustration, which I think I did, and then the client felt like it was not enough, which to be fair, I can understand in some way. Maybe not in this one, but I could understand it. But then adding a pink OSL just, in my opinion, made it worse. And yeah, it's some things that happen when you have to paint for commissions, and I feel like when you have a commission and the guy who pays you have a clear idea in his head, good or bad, if they do, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So when the customer comes and they don't know and they leave you to it, then that's the best outcome possible. But when they use you as their hands, that's where the problem comes.
It is an issue as an elder fan getting commission sculpts. It is.
I know.
Yeah.
I knew you would relate to this.
Yeah.
In the other side.
And there's also the flip when you do leave them to it and it's nothing like what you wanted. So
yeah, that's the problem.
This also, and that's an expensive mistake, let me tell you, $2,500. So yeah, I can understand that. I think you want a hybrid. You want a nice, good working relationship, don't you? With understanding on both sides, basically.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
have you ever felt when you ask the customer, I guess, like, what do you want with this? What is this supposed to represent? What do you think this should look like? And they go, does that ever happen where you actually want more input?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't want any input if it's possible.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it's an artwork that I'm reproducing,
Yeah.
that's the maximum input, right? Because that's you have to do it this way. There's no other way around it. But that's fun too, because
Yeah.
you are trying to reproduce the artwork of a master into a sculpt, which is fun. But someone that doesn't know painting telling me what to do,
Yeah.
I may disagree easily with that. And then that's when the bad things come.
So if
You
anyone
wanna
ever wants to
annoy him,
commission something from Arnau,
just tell
shut
him
the
what to
fuck
do.
up.
No,
Yeah.
tell him exactly what to do. And then tell him that that's not what they wanted and he has to start again. Interestingly, so I had a commission and it was really bad. It was very, very badly done. And I paid half. I thought I'd paid all, and now they're asking for the full payment. Now, it's so bad that the only way it could be done is if they got 5 or 6 times better at what they do, right? So now we're in a bit of a conundrum because I don't feel that comfortable not paying him, but also I'm not receiving what I'm paid for. And they'll feel that they deserve the money, even though it's dog shit. So it's an interesting in this industry.
Yeah, I always feel like when you commission, you have some sort of responsibility, because the artist can do what they can do, and you should know what they can do.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's, and I'm not saying it in this case, or what I'm saying is that it's, if you shoot at everything that you see,
you're gonna tread in a piece of shit eventually.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I agree. Due diligence, right? I also think that it's like lying on a CV. Some people twist the truth slightly and say it'd be like me saying sharing Arnau's work and be like, that's my work, and they go, fuck,
Yeah.
I'll commission you. Yeah, it's $4,000, mate, half up front, and then I deliver them a piece of absolute shit, and I go, well, that's the risk you take. I'm an artist. I do what I want, and then I just slap them in the face. So
I know, I think. No, I don't.
that is the worst jingle for the Grotbusters. The Grotbusters, the world famous Grotbusters. I have to say the reception is and does continue to be extremely positive. Wait to hear this week's ones though, because they are not my best. So, Martin, Arnau, you are neck and neck, if I am not mistaken, in the overall score. Arnau's brother is currently in the lead, but he's lost because he's lost 2 weeks, so he's not anymore.
I think I'll spoil you a little bit this week. I spoil it. Not.
Oh, you don't know them?
I don't know any of them.
You were on the cast. You mean you're just not good enough to get them?
Yeah, I'm just dumb as shit, and I cannot get them. So I'll try to get them if you give some extra clues.
I see.
At the moment I have no clue
Martin,
whatsoever.
What are you saying, Martin? Where are you at?
I'd like to say that I've got 2 out of 3, but I'm much closer to 0 out of 3, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm happy to take some more suggestions as well.
Well, Paul
Clues.
is also in the mix. Okay, so we've got H. Okay, and this one's I hardly win anything, me, after losing a scratch card. H.
No.
Martin, you must get that one. You've got to get that. I hardly win anything.
Harlequin.
Harlequin?
Yeah. Harlequins.
But
Harlequins. I hardly win anything. I hardly win.
That's you did pronounce it that way, so sure.
The problem with those clues is that you never know if it's a wordplay.
Yeah, exactly. It's boring otherwise, mate.
I'm starting to more and more assume that it is.
It's now. If you're watching a film, okay, and a girl falls over and hurts her knee, and they focus on that, you know that that's going to have some sort of plot later, right? Otherwise, they just wouldn't put it in. So there you go. That's all I'll say, right? Okay, good. So Martin got that marginally slower than Arnau, but I think he was already formulating a word on his lips.
Thanks.
Cheers, mate. So C, I gave Pippin the dessert, and when he dropped it, he said, "Oh dear. Oh dear." I gave him a dessert, and he dropped it, and he went, "Oh dear. Oldies." He said he dropped his dessert, and he said, "Oldies."
Which letter was it?
C. Okay, I'll give you a clue. It's a faction in 40k. He had a dessert, and he said, "Oldies. Oldies." I think mine's got it. Give our now a second. He's walking, he's got his dessert in his hands. I've given it to him, and he goes, "Oh," and it's all wet, and he goes, "Oldies." His dessert, Oldies. What desserts? I think Arnau's lost this one, right? But what desserts are there out that you could have, like ice cream, cake? You could have something that goes with like a pie, maybe, or a
I'm not
custard.
sure what I have to say.
Custard.
Yeah, it's just custodes.
I mean, I was thinking custodes, but I couldn't find anything related.
Custard is
The
a
dessert
dessert.
part is
Just
custard.
Just
Custard.
see.
Custodes.
Custodes.
Okay.
Custodes. Custodies. Custodies. Awkward sods turned up late again. Oh.
No idea.
Awkward sods turned up late again. Oh.
Orcs, but
Orcs.
Is it just
Okay.
orcs?
Yeah, it's just orcs.
so sometimes it's a lot simpler than I think.
I gotta keep you boys on your toes. Right. Paul, congratulations. You got every single one of those right, unlike these two twats. But Martin, I think you won that 2-1, didn't you?
Well, I mean, that's generous. I think Paul is definitely the reigning champion of this.
It's the first week he submitted, actually, I think, Paul.
What? There was someone else besides Arnav's brother.
Yeah. He was doing all right. But yeah, I am disappointed that people say they like it, but they don't submit to me.
Yeah, liking any part of this is completely meaningless unless you put your money where your mouth is.
Right,
I
exactly.
still feel like it's sending the email. The problem.
No, people are private messaging me in Discord.
Right, of course.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Right, so this week's. So Martin, you're up by 1. You're winning. Oh, now 1. Okay, so. Oh, that's last week's. Can't read those out. So
we're maybe tied. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
This one is GK, and I went to Bengal Bertie's super late last night after the tournament, and it was bloody great. Bengal Bertie's, in reference to LGT.
I mean, I think I know this one pretty easily.
Don't tell me. I like to give you a carrot every now and then. So I went to Bengal Bertie's super late after the tournament, and it was bloody great. Okay. Then you've got N.
Mm-hmm.
You better not go that way. Nah, you better not go that way. Okay.
Okay, no clue. Okay.
MG. Where's the snowman gone? MG, where's the snowman gone? Okay. So, nah, you better not go that way. N. MG, where's the snowman gone? And GK, I went to Bengal Bertie super late after the tournament. It was bloody great. Okay. I think I might start awarding bonus points if you get the actual, if you can link in where those clues, and you're like, this is the bit. So if you can do that and not just get the army right, I'll give you an extra point. All right.
Awesome.
Okay. Right, boys. We've got GD hype. We'll do that later. We've got Grossbusters done. Yeah. Paul's the champion. Bloody good show. And thank you all for listening. You two, not the listeners. Don't give a shit about them. Any last remarks?
No, I hope that next week we can record a bit more chill and with better sound in my and talking about GD basically because it's around the corner.
I think Albert is coming on next week.
Is nothing but GD and Dan next week.
Oh, fuck. I forgot to talk about my anime, you twats. Right. Cheers, boys.
Bye.
We've got a Discord.
See you.